I think it's open, anyone can take it.
I think this is the question which is pain of most fintechs. So maybe directly not related with the MSME, but let us relate it that way. What larger institution, or say banks, with due respect to Axis Bank and everyone, is they expect that their structure, infrastructure, tech stack will remain the same, and the smaller lender, NBFC or a fintech should integrate that information with their tech stack, which is fair. But the challenge, in my view, is that the way a fintech or a smaller or say NBFC analyzes or underwrites the micro, I will limit it to micro, not SME. To micro, the versus how the bank underwrites a borrower. There is a big difference in terms of doing what they do. When he was talking about alternate underwriting methods or solutions. So, for example, what we do, so there are two ways to look at MSMEs. His ability to pay, which everybody is able to do now by banking or GST, his banking behavior, GST behavior, and so on. But how do you find out the intention to pay? Whether this guy is really genuine, he will pay, not pay, how he will pay. So I will say company like us, we use different methods in terms of understanding which are little not really traditional methods of looking at, say, for example, when we go visit, talk to borrowers, we want to know his or her spouse education, for that matter, let us say. So educated spouse means our perception is the risk is lesser. Okay. When we go, whether he's really getting some telephone calls or not nowadays, because if you sit with somebody for 1 hour and he's not getting a call, is very unlikely, especially in business. So there are, let's say, around 40, 50 such parameters which we look at, which are known financial parameters, and we try, I'm not saying we're perfect, but try to find out that how is the conduct of this person. Now this does not fit anywhere in most banks' underwriting method, because their idea is banking, GST, etc. Similarly, the focus of larger institution is more on SME, not on micro again. So we kind of educate them that kindly convert your entity, which is mostly a proprietorship firm, to LLP or private limited company if possible, because the moment you are on MCA, lot many more information, authentic information can be fetched by the lenders. So this integration is really difficult. Having a non-IT background, the only one word I have heard from or learnt in technology is API. API integration is the most difficult task when we try to, let's say, integrate with multiple banks or lenders. It takes a lot of time because both tech companies need to understand it, kind of open little bit of this. Of course, in the last, say, couple of years, there is a change when banks are coming with open APIs, but then the underwriting method has to change. So it is happening, but it is gradual. So this is the challenge which always remains between a fintech entity which is doing underwriting versus a traditional bank which is doing. Now, there is also a difference between PSU banks, old private sector banks, new private sector banks. So I think how the world is moving, only one example, I guess, recently there is a fintech which has got approval from RBI to invest in a bank, let us say. So some kind of marriage has to happen, some kind of M&A has to happen between fintech and banks so that the best use of capital versus technology can be done. I think this is the future trend which we will see in next, let's say, 5-7 years.
Sangram?